Hello everyone, welcome back to some more Dragon Age. I have no idea what we're doing. I honestly don't remember. So, you know what? Let's talk to companions, because I don't think we've done that in a while. Morgan, let's start with you, because you're all the way out here by yourself.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Sorry about that. Um... Is there anything that can be done for possessed mage? We already know the answer to this. Let's see what she says.
'Tis the child abomination you speak of from the haunted castle? If what you seek is to remove the demon from the child without harming the child, there is a way indeed. There is a connection between the child and the demon, one which can be followed to the demon's true form within the Fade. There, the demon can be battled directly. Only a mage may enter the Fade. It requires lyrium and a group of mages to cast the ritual, neither of which we have, yes? And, had we those things, it would still fall on one mage alone to defeat the demon. No simple task, but there you have it.
What
do you wish of
I
me?
want to have a conversation.
If you must.
I know you can't. Oh, well, if I was a mage, you could, but I know you can do this to do it so you can give the skills to other companions, but I don't really want to give Win that, so. We already know the answer to this, but see what she says. Did you grow up in the Kuroshi Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You could if you wanted to.
Oh, what luck. What is it you asked, if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it
On the
was
throne?
simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
But you kept going back to the wilds.
Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Very daring. Sounds like you.
Equal parts daring and foolhardy, perhaps. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be traveling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I agree with you on that one. Touching like a handshake?
To begin with, yes. What is the point of touching my hand? I find it an offensive intrusion. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
I'm glad it worked out this way at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat in the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
That was a very Alistair comment, that last one.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes. By Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
You really had no trouble with them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
One second. Okay, what was it? Go turn and Templars deeper in the wilds to their doom. Surely more would have followed.
Sometimes. Eventually. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
Wait, no. These, they didn't get what they deserved. They got their job. They were doing their job. Do you still think that was fun?
I think that my mother made it fun so that a child did not learn to fear. And I think that it was necessary. There are no trials for apostates, no prisons, no mercy. There are only absolutes, so only survival matters. If the wilds have taught me anything, 'tis this. First, you must survive. Do you disagree?
Nope. You're probably right.
An enlightened view, or at least an agreeable one. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
You're not hating me. Why aren't you hating me?
What do you wish of me?
This is rare.
If you must.
I feel like that would start getting a bit offensive. Now let's just, think we're good with her. Oh yeah, 'cause we haven't started talking to Win at all. Sten. Wait, what?
The Circle of Magi stands ready to assist, Grey Warden, as do the Templars of the Chantry.
Do you need anything?
There are always areas to improve on, Grey Warden. The most useful for my talents are runes.
Sorry, my dad is asking me questions and I'm sure he wants me to response to. Yeah, I don't see why that would be a problem. Okay. It's... No, do I have runes? I don't know which runes I have, so let's not risk it just yet. Who was I talking to? Sten, right. Just fire, get out of my way. Hi, Sten.
Yes.
What were you doing in that kitchen? I thought we asked all these. Maybe not.
Sitting, as you observed.
You were standing. That's not what I meant.
It's what you asked.
You don't like me much, do you?
Warden, if I truly disliked you, I would leave. That I am still here, you may interpret however you choose.
That you're just a grumpy monkey. Got it. Fine, let's drop this for now.
Parshera, was there anything else?
I want to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak, then.
That's enough for now.
Then I suggest we move on.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
I am too. Why did you come to Ferelden?
To answer a question.
Aha. What was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
Don't you have to report back then?
Yes.
So what are you still doing here then?
I cannot go home.
Why not?
It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
Yeah, let's go.
As you wish.
Nope. Thank you, girl.
Yes.
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Okay, apparently I don't have
Very
questions.
well.
Even though that was a long list.
As you wish.
List earlier. Alistair!
Something on your mind?
No, I'm not gonna flirt with him in this round. I have some questions.
Of course.
I can't be a Templar because I'm not a warrior. No, that's also if you're romancing. Tell me about the Grey Wardens.
Such as they are.
I have no questions.
About the Grey Wardens, anyhow. Fair enough.
You know me well,
Something
Alistair.
on your mind?
Have some questions.
Of course.
Why remain a Templar if you hate the Chantry?
Have you seen the uniform? It's not only stylish, but well made. I'm a sucker for good tailoring.
Hey, you're wearing it right now. I thought Templars wore heavy plates. Don't think I've ever seen you wearing it. Right here, honey. I thought Templars wore heavy plates mostly.
That's just in public. In private, we have these yellow and purple tunics, right? Much more comfortable, and you don't break the beds when you jump on them during a pillow fight.
You had lots of these pillow fights, I take it?
On confession day, we could go all night. Being a Templar isn't all about chasing men in skirts and hiding behind priests, you know. You don't really want to know about my being a Templar, do you? It's really quite boring.
I do really want to know, yes.
Poke, poke, poke. Tell me everything about your life, Alistair. All right, if you insist. It's not like we have anything better to do, right? The truth of the matter is that I did hate going to the monastery. The initiates from poor families thought I put on airs, while the noble ones called me a bastard and ignored me. I felt like Al Eamon had cast me off, unwanted, and I was determined to be bitter. But I took some solace in the training itself, I guess. I was actually quite good at it.
I assume so. What did you enjoy about the training?
The education, mostly, but also the discipline. You need to have a disciplined mind in order to use the abilities we have. It was difficult, but rewarding. I never really felt at home anywhere, though, until I joined the Grey Wardens. And Duncan felt my Templar abilities might be useful when we encountered Darkspawn magic, so I kept it up. What about you? Do you have anywhere you consider home?
That's a flirting comment, otherwise I'd say that. You know what? I think she would still be connected to her home, so my home has taken over by Earl Hal.
Right. Stupid of me to ask. I'm sorry. We won't always be traveling like this, you know. Once the war is over, once the Blight is... well, a time will come when we'll have to think about having a real home again. Though that seems like a far ways off. And I suppose the Grey Wardens are gone for good. Either way.
There's Grey Wardens in other countries, dude. Once the Blight's done, we'll have time to go, hey, do you know how to do that thing where we make other Grey Wardens? We kind of need to know that. I know this is kind of awkward, but can you please tell me? Okay, yeah, they can be rebuilt.
I suppose you're right. We can create new Grey Wardens, but we'll never get back those we lost. I wonder if it would ever feel the same.
Of course not.
Anyhow, now I've sidetracked us. We'd better get back to what we're supposed to be doing right now.
Which is
Something on your
talking to
mind?
you. Have some questions?
Of course.
Uh, what changes about you after the joining?
You mean other than becoming a Grey Warden?
I mean, what changes physically?
You know, I asked Duncan this too, and all I got was, "You'll see."
Just try that line on me. That's what I was thinking. He wouldn't tell you?
Oh, it's not that Duncan wants to keep it a secret. It's just that the Grey Wardens don't discuss it much. I gather it's not a pleasant topic. The first change I noticed was an increase in appetite. I used to get up in the middle of the night and raid the castle larder. I thought I was starving. I'd slurp down every dinner like it was my last. My face all covered in gravy. When I'd look up, the other Grey Wardens would stare, then laugh themselves to tears.
Ever felt anything like that?
Really? Because I was watching you wolf down food the other day, and I thought, ooh, it's a good thing she gets a lot of
Hey,
exercise.
hey, hey! Okay, so I'm a corn girl. Yeah, why not?
I'll say. I didn't mean it like that. No, don't hit me. I bruise easily.
That's not good. You're my
Oh.
tank.
And then, there were the nightmares. Duncan said it was part of how we sense the Darkspawn. We tap into their, well, I don't know what you'd call it, their group mind. And when we sleep, it's even worse. You learn to block it out after a while, but at first it's hard. It's supposed to be worse for those who join during a blight. How is it for you?
I've had some strange dreams. I don't know. Let's say this. Nightmares. Yes, I know what you mean.
Some people never have much trouble, but that's rare. Others have trouble sleeping their entire life. They're just more sensitive, I suppose. Everyone ends up the same, though. Once you reach a certain age, the real nightmares come. That's how a Grey Warden knows his time has come.
What are you talking about?
Oh, that's right. We never had time to tell you that part, did we? Well, in addition to all the other wonderful things about being a Grey Warden, you don't need to worry about dying from old age. You've got 30 years to live, give or take. The taint, it's a death sentence. Ultimately, your body won't be able to take it. When the time comes, most Grey Wardens go to Orzammar and die in battle rather than waiting. It's tradition.
Why Awesomer?
You'll always find Darkspawn down where the dwarves are. The oldest Grey Wardens head to the deep roads for one last glorious battle. Not that there's a shortage of Darkspawn during a blight, but that's the tradition. The dwarves respect us for it. And you wondered why we kept the joining a secret from the new recruits. And there you have it.
Great. I never wondered that. I feel betrayed, at least for this storyline, because they really shoehorned her into being a Great Warden with the noble line. Because it was really Duncan blackmailing a dying man to go, hey, I know your son's probably dead, and your only remaining child is right here, and I can help her escape, but I want to make her a Grey Warden, okay? Okay, that's the only way I'm going to save her. So that is the only reason, like, in the, yeah, the Dalish Elf and the City Elf are the two I did. Dalish Elf makes a lot of sense because she was already, tainted. Like, she would have died anyways from Darkspawn, so this just gives her extra time to live in reality. And I think the City Elf, she was accused of murder, so it's kind of this is her only way from not going to jail, which she'll also probably die in less than 30 years, so if not, well, she probably would have been hanged. So, yeah. So those two, it makes sense. It's not betrayal. For the noble one, I think it kinda is. But, whatever. I'm gonna save this one, though. I never wanted that. I understand.
You know, Duncan, he started having the nightmares again. He told me that in private. He said it wouldn't be long before he'd go to Orzammar himself. I guess he got what he wanted. I just wish it had been something worthy of him.
He got what he deserved. He will be remembered, Alistair, as will the others.
I know. Ending the Blight should make this all worthwhile, right? Something on your mind?
I have some questions.
Of course.
Why they're just more and more popping up. Why did you keep your birthright a secret?
You never asked?
Do you want to make me angry? No, do I want to guilt him? That's a cheap answer.
All right. If you want the full explanation, I'll give it to you. The thing is, I'm used to not telling anyone who didn't already know. It was always a secret. Even Duncan was the only Grey Warden who knew. And then after the battle, when I should have told you, I don't know, it seemed like it was too late by then. How do you just tell someone that?
You did eventually.